So for me, it was good because Ian finally, I could see that finally Ian was becoming more organised. I like to be organised, but Ian's always been here, there, we'll do this and we'll do that. It's like stuff everywhere.
Because when you face it, I was the one that was holding us back. Christine was always on board.
And Ian always had lots of ideas, and I eventually learned to just sit back and just let it happen, sort of thing, because sometimes I knew that, oh well, it's not going to happen, so I'm not even going to kill his dream or anything, because I know it's not going to happen.
I mean, because we do have to paint the picture here. The picture, quite simply, is that I was, I suppose, overbearing, is the sort of thing, the decision maker and the one that said what was right and what was wrong. And Christine had always...
I just go with the flow, really.
Had gone along with that. In saying that, though, that wasn't definitely the balance was out within our relationship, and the whole process of what we did was a change, not just in our business, in our life, in our relationship changed as a consequence of that. Yeah. And you're fairly you control majority of what we do now.
Yeah, I mean, I always knew that Ian had a great mind and was a great person, and I mean, he's a lot younger than I am, so I sort of...
Oh, you couldn't tell, could you?
No. I know everyone thought that I was younger, but it's not. And so it was good for him to find someone like Dymphna, who immediately he liked her, and because he could see that she was intelligent and what she spoke of was true, and he liked her energy and everything like that. So for me, that was great that he was becoming more organised and more focused on where we were going to go. So yeah, we were able to sit down together, which was very exciting for me too, and make goals together. So it was good.
And the relevance of that sitting down together was I finally got to start to see that there was an extremely intelligent and well-motivated and organised person that I'd never allowed to come out of a shell. And just to see the difference in what Christine is now to what she was, just a few years ago, the confidence and really the sad part of that was that I was the crushing force between the two of us. And not allowing her to expand and do that. And
yeah, I mean, I said to Ian on the plane here, I said to him, sometimes I wonder if I married the right person.
Fantastic.
But then you challenged me, and I know that I made the right decision. So Ian is for me, he's a good husband because he challenges me to grow as well.
There's plenty of other women out there that'll take me, you know.
I know. They think you're gorgeous.
It's always so comforting to hear, well, sometimes I wonder whether you're the right one or not. But then it's okay. But, I'm actually the one now in the relationship that, and in business and in everything that we do, where I take the back step and, it's okay for me to get up and talk. I like to talk. Whether I've got a talent in that is not for me to decide, but for other people around me. And at this point in time, I see that there's enough fulfillment for other people to allow me to talk and teach and go on with that. The truth of our business and our life is that the rest of it is controlled by Christine, and that's what I wasn't allowing for many years.
Yeah. It's more that we do it together now.
Yeah, there's a better balance in what we do.
Originally, our goal it wasn't really to get married. It was because I never wanted to get married. Ian was the one who always wanted to get married. But it was sort of, get a house, have kids. And we hadn't really thought beyond that. And so once we'd done that is when we thought, well, what are we going to do now? And so that's when I think we started to change a little bit after we'd started having kids and sort of done a few things that we wanted to do together. But then we sort of realised, well, we've still got a lot of living to do. We've got to look a lot further ahead. And that's where we started looking around for more longer term things, and that's where we came across Dymphna. And
Interesting. And part of that was that our first real date, really, that we went out together. I took Christine to a classy joint called the Coogee Bay Hotel for a drink, and I talked to her about property and owning property, and Christine at the time actually said, how can you own property, because it's not yours, it's part of the earth. And there was this whole spiritual thing that was going on, and we define ourselves as reasonably spiritual. We like to help people and we like to be helped as well. So but now we're at the point where that's okay. It's okay to own property, because what it does for us, it allows us to do other things for other people and allows us to do more of what we want to do.
Yeah, I think we're a lot more holistic now. Before, I was more focused on the spiritual, airy-fairy, but only that side, and I didn't look at part of the whole living on the planet as well, sort of thing. And so Ian's brought that into my life, and I think I've contributed to his life in the spiritual, looking after the earth sort of sense.
And so that side of looking after the earth is where I did a lot of work in sustainability when I was with TAFE New South Wales. I was the go-to person for sustainability when it came to teaching, learning and finding out new stuff. And so that's where that balance has sort of come in. The thing about Christine is that she's always been able to keep us grounded in what we do, and facts and figures, putting spreadsheets together is really what she's really fantastic at. Running our business, knowing where our business needs to go, watching our bucket of cash, because the last thing you want to do as an investor is run out of your bucket of cash. And because early on she wasn't in control of the decisions of what we did in property, she had to make good with the decisions that I had made. From a chauvinistic male type domineering point of view. Whereas now the change is definitely that I'll actually say to Christine, we'll have a business meeting, which is what we do, and I'll say to Christine, I need to know what position we're in now money-wise with the deals we've got in place.
Yeah, it is good, because I always have described myself as a lazy person, because I like to find the most efficient way of doing everything, and I've put myself out of a job once because I condensed everything so much and still got the same result that I didn't have any work left to do. So
I wouldn't consider that to be lazy. I think that's more efficient. And the job she's talking about is she went in as a temp job while someone was away on maternity leave, and did within a couple of weeks had created all the spreadsheets that needed to happen so that a 40-hour job could be done in a day, and then it was boring because you were just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, so ask another question. When we first started with Dymphna, I remember her talking about 5-year goals and peg in the sand. So I got myself a folder and wrote down in there that in 5 years' time I wanted to be able to help people in property, and sort of like a financial planner sort of thing, or just helping other people get ahead. And it turns out that that's what we do. That's actually what we do now, and I think Ian and I both have good experience to help people. I'm actually an accountant, but I've also done a lot of other stuff, and Ian's background's teaching and in the trade and stuff like that. We've also done our own deals where we've made a lot of mistakes, etc. So
mistakes are good things for learning.
Yeah, so we like helping people, and I think we're going to continue on that journey, helping other people, and probably just enlarge upon the number of people we can help, hopefully.
The beauty, for me, it took a long time to get on board with the goals and the peg in the sand and and the 5-year vision. And last year we put together, every year we do it, but last year we put together for the first time our 5-year vision. And It involved the whole family, and we asked all our daughters what we were doing, what they wanted to do in 5 years' time, and we actually put a whole PowerPoint presentation, an automatic slide presentation with music in the background, and the girls had their speaking parts about how they saw themselves getting up in the morning, and so we've got this video of a 5-year vision of us getting up in the morning, and you know, the girls get up. One of them want a slippery slide out of a bedroom into the pool, and the dogs are swimming in the pool. There's 2 of them. We get up, and Christine's making breakfast. One of our daughters is making breakfast for all the other girls out of blueberry pancakes out of blueberries from the tree in our backyard. You know, we've got a brand new property with a lap pool, and you know, the ocean on one side and the river on the other, and yeah, it's a full-on thing.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and so that allows us to be able to visualise what's going to happen there.
Yeah, and so we've got our own lifestyle that we've visualised, and that's really exciting. Yeah, the site, even down to the, you know, the sort of house we want to live in. So we've got material things as well as spiritual things and personal growth things and everything.
And so within that 5-year vision, you know, there's sections in there where I'm talking about the relationship I have with my daughters and how we get on,
and I am going to cry again.
I wanted you to talk. So, look, and for us, for property, what are we doing? We're going on. We're doing our bread and butter deals. They're coming good, and at any point in time, we run 6 or 7 of them. Christine does the paperwork side of making sure the money's run in the correct directions, and that the finance is being catered after. And it's very often that I get a piece of paper put in front of me, and she's asking me to sign it.
So that, I mean, that's our job now, looking after properties. We still have a job, but it's something where, you know, it's also our lifestyle.
Yeah,
looking after properties.
So I'll look after development applications and the practical component side of it. I'm no longer on the tools. I stay off the tools as much as I can. Sometimes I go in there for a bit of fun and muck around with the tradesmen, but otherwise that's my area, and Christine's area is looking after the financial and the daily movement of our businesses. Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, I do. I like what it can give us.
You know, a lot of people ask that question, you know, you're so passionate about property, Ian, and I can't actually say that I am passionate about property. I like property, and it's a great tool for me, and it's a great vehicle for me to move forward, and I get to meet a lot of people, and I get to see a lot of people change. What I am passionate about, absolutely, 100%, is what Christine talked about, is about helping people move forward from our experience, and being able to get them into a better position. And it's not us getting them into a better position, it's them actually taking some external view from, you know, it happens on any sporting field. You've got a coach on the sideline that says, look, I think for you to be able to come out well in this game, you need to do this movement and that movement and that movement, and you need to work with those people out there on the field. And if you go out on that field and you don't follow what the coach has given you from their experience, well, you're never going to make anything of it. Generally, though, a coach can see something big picture, and that'll make a big difference. So when it comes to us in our relationship, I'm a very big picture person. I can see the big picture. Christine's more...
Yeah, I'm a detail person.
Yeah.
And I think we've just chosen property as a tool to get us ahead, and it's all about, that's what we've chosen to educate ourselves in. So there's plenty of things out there that will make you money. You just got to be smart about it and what you use that money for. Plan ahead and
I think
be educated.
I think Dymphna would say the most important thing about that is that there are other tools out there that you use, but property is the only one. Don't ever do shares, all right? I'm telling you, because if you do, there's trouble.